Tel Aviv burns. Haifa staggers under relentless attack. Israel's famed defense systems, from the Iron Dome to David's sling and arrow batteries, have been working around the clock. But they are no longer infallible. The relentless wave of missile strikes has revealed a chilling truth. Israel's defenses are being pierced. The prime culprit behind this surge is a new weapon in Iran's arsenal, the Rezvan ballistic missile. 2 Mossad headquarters have been hit. These are not random acts of violence or stray rockets from proxy militias. This is a calculated, precision strike designed to send a clear message. Iran can strike directly at the heart of Israel's defenses. The question gripping the world is not just how dangerous Rezvan is, but whether Israel can withstand the next onslaught. Rezvan, more than just a missile, a geopolitical earthquake. Rezvan represents a tectonic shift in Middle Eastern power dynamics. Unlike past conflicts where Iran relied on proxies like Hezbollah or Hamas to do its bidding, Rezvan marks Iran's direct engagement, a bold statement that Tehran no longer hides behind intermediaries. The missile strikes have shattered long-standing assumptions and redrawn the strategic map. This attack is more than a military event. It is a geopolitical earthquake, shaking alliances and challenging old power balances. The United States' quick condemnation of Iran came with an unusual defensive tone, betraying a sense of uncertainty about its influence in a rapidly destabilizing region. Washington's allies are now questioning the reliability of U.S. support as the region spirals into chaos. Russia, meanwhile, is treading a fine line, publicly calling for calm while quietly strengthening ties with Tehran, using the crisis to chip away at American dominance. China has taken a more explicit stance, endorsing Iran's strike as a legitimate response and signaling a broader shift in global power. For Beijing, this conflict opens doors to expanded military, economic, and strategic influence in the Middle East. The world is witnessing a new diplomatic language, where missiles serve as blunt instruments of political messaging, fast, unmistakable, and impossible to ignore. The birth of Rezvan, Iran's independent strike capability. Rezvan's origins lie deep within the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, specifically Iran's aerospace division. Born from the desire to create a strategic weapon free from foreign dependency, Rezvan is a product of Iran's domestic engineering efforts under relentless sanctions and embargoes. Introduced officially in 2022, the missile's name, derived from the Shiite concept of paradise, ironically heralds destruction rather than peace. It embodies Iran's determination to carve its own path to power, a weapon built and perfected on Iranian soil. Operation True Promise in 2024 marked Rezvan's debut in combat, launched directly from Iran without proxy forces. This was a game-changing moment. It was not just a symbolic parade missile anymore. It was an active weapon of war, capable of long-range, precise strikes that the world could no longer dismiss. Technical profile. What makes Rezvan so deadly? Rezvan is a mid-range ballistic missile approximately 12 meters long with a diameter of 0.88 meters, designed for maximum speed and range. Its slim, aerodynamic silhouette is reminiscent of Iran's Qiyam missile, but with enhanced capabilities, liquid-fueled power and range. Unlike many modern missiles that prefer solid fuel for ease of storage and rapid launch, Rezvan uses liquid fuel. This choice is risky. Liquid fuel requires more complex storage and slower launch preparation, but it provides a more powerful and stable thrust during the critical phase of atmospheric exit. With a range of approximately 1,400 kilometers, Rezvan can reach any part of Israel from Iranian territory, giving Tehran a strategic edge in long-range strike capabilities. Speed and maneuverability. The missile reportedly travels at Mach 8, 8 times the speed of sound, leaving Israel's air defenses mere seconds to detect, track, and intercept. This extreme velocity complicates interception by systems like Iron Dome or David's Sling, which rely on precious seconds of reaction time. Dual-stage warhead release. One of Rezvan's most advanced features is its ability to release its warhead at 2 separate points during its flight, either just before atmospheric re-entry or right before impact. This flexibility enables the warhead to evade interception by breaking traditional ballistic missile flight patterns, reducing the chance of being shot down. Precision targeting. Rezvan employs a domestically produced precision navigation system, enabling it to strike highly sensitive and fortified targets, including command centers, communication hubs, and airstrips. Its kill radius of approximately 100 meters and effective damage radius up to 200 meters means a single hit can devastate an area the size of 2 football fields. Tactical advantages, mobility, and launch platforms. Rezvan's launch versatility further complicates Israel's defense calculus. It can be fired from mobile vehicles, allowing rapid relocation and surprise attacks, fixed bases with hardened facilities, underground bunkers, protecting launch systems from preemptive strikes. This mobility makes it exceedingly difficult for intelligence and defense forces to anticipate or neutralize launches before missiles are airborne. Operation True Promise. The moment Rezvan changed the game. In April 2024, Rezvan stepped out of the shadows in a large-scale missile assault dubbed Operation True Promise. Targets included multiple strategic points across the Middle East, some known to be used by Israeli and U.S. forces. For decades, Israel's intelligence and defense experts believed an Iranian strike would always come indirectly, through allied militias or proxy groups. Rezvan shattered that illusion by launching directly from Iranian soil, boldly declaring Iran's readiness to engage in full-spectrum warfare. 2 key sites inside Israel, Hazliya and Saron, were deliberately targeted. Hazliya, home to a central Mossad command hub, suffered severe damage. Scorched buildings, partial structural collapses, and communication blackouts lasting hours. Saron, critical for military logistics and data centers, was also hit, disrupting vital military operations. The breach of Israeli air defenses was perhaps the most sobering aspect. For the first time in 2 decades, Iran had penetrated Israel's protective layers and hit high-value, ultra-secure targets. The era of safe zones within Israel was over. The new reality, Iran's direct threat. The implications are stark. For years, Israel prepared for indirect warfare, assuming any missile threat from Iran would be mediated through proxies. Rezvan's successful strike rewrites those assumptions. Iran is no longer a shadow player. It now directly controls the trigger. Rezvan is not a bluff or a deterrent. It is an operational weapon designed for precise destruction. Israel's defensive measures, once considered impenetrable, now face an unprecedented challenge. Systems like Iron Dome and Arrow have limits exposed by Rezvan's speed, precision, and launch versatility. Can Israel survive the next wave? Israel's defense experts are urgently analyzing Rezvan's capabilities, working to develop countermeasures against a missile that forces reaction times to near zero. Questions dominate the strategic discourse. Can existing air defense networks be upgraded quickly enough to cope with the missile's speed and evasion tactics? Is there a need for a new generation of interceptors or layered missile defense technologies? What role will intelligence and preemptive strikes play in locating and neutralizing launch sites? Most crucially, how far will the United States go in supporting Israel's defense? Will Washington intervene militarily, or is Israel expected to face this new threat largely alone? The global power play, a shifting Middle East Rezvan's emergence, is about more than Israel and Iran. It highlights a broader shift in global influence. The U.S. dilemma. Washington's initial condemnation of Iran was firm but tinged with apprehension. The U.S. finds itself challenged to maintain dominance in a region fracturing under competing influences. Allies question American resolve, and the traditional security umbrella seems less certain. Russia's opportunism. Russia, maintaining a slippery neutrality, is quietly boosting relations with Tehran, capitalizing on U.S. distractions to increase its foothold in the Middle East. Moscow sees the crisis as a chance to erode American hegemony. China's bold move. Beijing openly praised Iran's attack, framing it as justified resistance. China's endorsement signals a strategic investment in Middle Eastern military and economic influence, challenging the established order and signaling a multipolar world order emerging from the conflict's ashes. Rezvan and the new era of warfare. The Rezvan missile is more than a weapon. It is a symbol of Iran's defiance, technological progress, and strategic ambition. It marks a new chapter where Iran no longer hides behind proxies, but asserts its power openly and directly. For Israel, the challenge is existential. The missile has shattered illusions of invulnerability and forced a rethinking of defense strategies. The broader Middle East and global powers watch closely as the balance of power shifts, alliances strain, and the shadow of war darkens the region. The Rezvan missile's roar over Israeli skies signals a future where long-range precision strikes are not only possible, but inevitable, and where the stakes of survival grow higher with every launch.